Hi, everyone. Welcome back to a new episode of Emerging Brands Podcast with Kelly Bennett. Today, I am here with a chief marketing officer. And this is the first time I think I've had a chief marketing officer on the podcast, which I'm personally excited about as a marketing nerd at heart. Teresa Low is here. She is the CMO of Acme Smoked Fish. And Teresa, I'm really excited to talk shop with you today.
Well, thank you very much, Kelly, for this opportunity. And I'm always excited to talk shop with marketing nerds anytime, all day
Me
long.
too. Okay, good. So to kick things off, if someone is first hearing of Acme Smoked Fish, it's been around for 4 generations. I was saying before I hit record that my girlfriend, who is very much a foodie, and she had a catering business at one time. She's a trained chef. She's from Brooklyn, and she was saying how Acme Smoked Fish is her go-to when she's sourcing fish. And so she thought it was really cool that I was having you on. And we've been enjoying the products that you sent over. So I would love to hear the backstory. Like, again, been around for 4 generations. That's incredible. Can you give us the rundown of the origin story?
Sure, of course. I think, as you said, it's the OG of smoked fish, right? Just like your
Right.
your friend, we're known for the quality. We've been around since 1906. In fact, the dream started in 1906 when, the founder, the first generation came to the US and really wanted to be in the smoked fish business. Can you imagine? It's starting with the first generation, and now the fourth generation is still
Amazing.
family owned and operated. And that's what I love about this company. And we smoke fish, and that's the only thing we do, and that's our passion. We are passionate about the craft. And it's funny when you describe your friend, she is like a typical fan. Our fans love us for the quality. They are also passionate about smoked fish, just like us. But interestingly, I joined the company maybe about 2, 3 years ago, and marketing is a new function at Acme. It's a relatively new function. So if you think about it, this company have been around for so long and really never really done marketing in sort of a very big way. However, the name is out there. People do know us for quality. But one thing I noticed when I was considering joining the company is that this industry is very interesting. If you know smoked fish, you know it. But if you don't know it, you could be a seafood and fish lover, but like myself. I'm a fish and seafood lover. But before I joined Acme, I don't think much about smoked fish. I don't know much about it. And I just think maybe it's just something you eat with bagel. And that's about it. And the company realized, I mean, the family realized that there's so much we can tell the world and so much we can do to welcome more people into the industry. So the idea of doing more marketing and really marketing in the sense of telling our story to more people, to bring more people into this industry, that's where it all happened. And I joined the company to begin that journey about 2, 3 years ago. So it's a very established company. It's the OG, like I said. But for the marketing function, it's almost like a startup within a very established company, doing things marketing for the very first time within
That's
the company, which is
interesting.
very exciting.
Yeah. So what was your career background?
Yeah, so I started in advertising. So I came from Singapore, all the way from Singapore. Never say never. Long story how I came to the US. But I came to the US, did my MBA, and actually got a job with Hershey, the chocolate company. It's a really funny story. Very quickly, it's back then, there's no LinkedIn, there's no things you can Google and search for people. But I found out about Hershey through a case study that I was doing at MBA. And I thought, what an interesting company. I've never heard of the company, outside of the US. So I decided to type a letter to person in charge in Hershey, and I gave them my idea. And they wrote me a letter to ask me to come in for an interview. I swear my
Wow.
letter happened to drop on the table of the head of international at Hershey, and that began my career. And that's the reason why I'm still in the US.
That
So
is so cool.
I know. I'm still so thankful for Hershey for sort of starting my journey into the CPG world. So I started in advertising in Singapore, came over, didn't think I would stay, but I stayed and worked at Hershey for 10 years. I was with Hershey for 10 years. And then after that, I went to work for Courvoisier Cognac. So, in Chicago. And then I worked for a paperboard packaging company and then worked for wine industry. And now I'm in smoked fish. So I would say my career has always been marketing centric because I love marketing, but it's also in industries or in categories, food and beverage categories, whereby you don't need it, but you want it. So it's really,
Right.
it's really things that, that sort of make you smile or add joy to your life. That's the kind of industry I love to be in. So that's kind of my background. It's always been marketing. Yeah.
That's a really cool story of how you launched your career in the US. I really love that. So looking at Acme, what has been one of the biggest differentiators that once you got into this role, you're like, ooh, this is what we need to talk about more, right? And putting on your
Yeah.
marketing hat and saying, okay, I know you all have been around for a while, but like this is what's really interesting and like what we really need to call out in our marketing. What were some things that really stood out to you in the beginning?
Yeah, so I think when we set out to say we need to refresh our brand, but we know that we're also a heritage brand. So it's something that
Right.
I need to be respectful of what has been built, over so many years. So one of the first things we did was to understand really what is our brand equity and what do we stand for with consumers and making sure that we stay true to who we are and not throw away all the good things that have been built before. And what was funny and interesting is that consumer research is always interesting. I love doing
Yes.
that because you just learn so many things. And consumers definitely saw us as a quality brand, quality product. However, it is also in a sea of sameness. There are a lot of quality, products
Mm,
out there. From a brand standpoint, they describe us as a really classy, gentleman that has money. So it's definitely a very well-dressed gentleman that has money and classy, but from the 1930s. So you can see that kind of
right.
spurred the idea that we need to maintain the quality, but we need to sort of refresh it and make it relevant to today's world. Also knowing that the category is a little unapproachable. Like I say, if you know it, you know it. If you don't know, you walk past it. So we wanted to make it approachable. So one of the first things we did is to say, stay true to who we are, which is we're passionate about smoked fish, and the central idea is that we love what we do and we're passionate about our craft, but we don't take things too seriously. If you met any of the people here, you know that we like to joke around, we like to have fun, but we're very serious about quality smoked fish that we bring. So came this idea, the central core idea of sharing our passion, but also bringing people together through great food experiences because we know that food is a connector, right?
Right.
So we have this very fun and joyful campaign that's all around this notion of passion for smoked fish and passion for life. So it's called You'll Want What We're Smoking. So it's one way of saying that instead of saying that we make the best smoked fish, which we do, we say you'll want what we're smoking and you're going to find out yourself. So we'll always seek to do things fresh and unexpected, always going to surprise and delight our consumers with new flavors, which is what if you see what you received in the package, we've got flavors.
I thought it was really cool, even when because I'm sent a lot of products and I'm always unboxing things. And so something that really struck me right off the bat was the lox in a box
Box, yeah,
and the avocado toast and the white fish salad. And I thought it was really creative because I
that's
had seen
awesome.
just your, hero SKU, I'm assuming is like the smoked fish in the single
In the plane,
package,
yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it was really interesting how you won the names of the SKUs, but also the use cases and how it's not just for breakfast, but I was like, oh, this is an easy lunch. And like for myself, I'm making sure that I eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner because as a busy
Yep,
business owner, entrepreneur, creative, I get in the zone and I forget to eat. So I'm like, "Ooh, this will be good because
I
this
love it. I
is
love
like
it.
really, really simple for me to like pull out and eat." So I
I
thought that was
love it.
yeah.
That's exactly what we wanted it to be. But that's another way of really, at the core of it, we're people that love smoked fish. We want to find ways to invite more people to come into the category. And that's really the story that we want to connect with our consumers about. And we have so many foodies that's, in this office and in this company. And the idea, we're always pushing the envelope, like Locks in a Box, for example.
I
It's
thought that was
just
great.
thinking that like people are busy now. We want more ways to eat protein very easily. You got everything in a box you can just make. And isn't it? It's delicious and it's good for you. Like, what's not to love? Like, we
Right.
love it so much. We just want to bring more people to really enjoy this because I think some people look at it. If you don't know smoked fish, you look at it, you're not quite sure, is it cooked? Is it not? How do I eat it? In the box, everything is in there. So we're gonna do more and more things like that where we're gonna, do things that's a little bit unexpected because you don't typically see seafood or fish that's kind of done in a way. And we want people to say, ooh, that's interesting. Let me try that.
I totally got that feeling. And also, I am a new pescatarian for the last year or so. So, all of this is kind of new to me. And so, my partner, who I said is the chef and or background in culinary, she's been really guiding me on, what to eat and different ways of. And I'll be honest, when she was showing me smoked fish, I was like, wait, what? Is it cooked?
Yeah.
Is it not
Yeah,
cooked?
yeah,
What is
yeah, yeah,
this?
yeah.
But I've been like slowly starting to get into it. And so when you send over those products, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, this sounds really interesting. Like I'm excited to try new things. And
Oh, that's
I thought that was
fantastic.
perfect.
That is exactly what a lot of consumers are, which is you may eat fish, but you look at smoked fish, you're not quite sure what it is. And we have things like, we call it hot smoke, but again, it's something that's very confusing for people. But pretty much it's we already flavored it and cooked it for you. All you need to do is just peel it and eat it, and all the flavor is in there. So you don't even have to cook it. So that's how wonderful, like you can just have protein so very easily for people that's not very sure about cooking salmon or how to do it, or you don't want
Right.
to, stink up your kitchen. I mean, this is a really easy way to do it. So we have so many new and exciting things, and we're thinking of ways like our website too is a brand new website. We have Smoked Fish 101 if you want to learn about smoked fish, but also lots of recipes just to let you find very, very easy ways of adding protein and very, very easily to your repertoire.
Literally what I'm working on. So this is perfect
Yay!
timing.
That's
Literally what I'm
great.
working on. What else has been really interesting from your point of view? It's an interesting niche, again, coming from a marketing perspective. It's fourth generation. It's been around the concept since 1906, but the year is 2024.
Right.
And, was there anything that was really also standing out to you that you're like, okay, this is something that would be really exciting for this brand, or any other strategies or initiatives? I know you just said
Yeah.
website was refreshed.
Yeah.
Sounds like more education also. Anything
Yeah.
else that has been really
Yeah.
interesting putting in place?
So we have so many exciting initiatives coming on sort of under this umbrella. And one of it we're very excited about is the 1% for the climate, program, whereby, obviously climate is something that is of concern to everyone. And as a company, we want to do our part as well. And we are donating 1% of our cold smoke sales. And cold smoke is the biggest part of our repertoire, coal smoke sales proceeds to support climate initiatives. And we do that through the seafood, through the Acme Smoked Fish Foundation. We
Cool.
launched it in 2021. We have this Seafood Industry Climate Awards where we grant funding to projects that people submit projects in, that projects that will lower the carbon footprint in the seafood industry, as well as this is what I'm very excited about. Not only is it lowering the carbon footprint, but also it is to increase the leadership role of women and minority communities. It is
That's
so
cool.
cool what we can do and help some of these projects, get going and what they're about. So that's the 1% for climate, program that we launched in 2021 and continue to do that. We have a lot of, we are in Brooklyn, Greenpoint. I know you're in Manhattan as well.
Yes.
So we're in Greenpoint, Brooklyn, and we have a neighbor here as well, Mike's Hot Honey. And we've
Yep.
always, loved each other, and we have that neighborly love going on and wanted to collaborate on something. But then the pandemic happened. And so now we're finally able to collaborate with like-minded, brands like Mike's Hot Honey. We're gonna have a Mike's Hot Honey sweet heat dip coming up. Oh, it's so good.
Ooh, that
It's
sounds
so good. You're gonna have to
amazing.
try it. It's gonna be launching very soon, October in Whole Foods, the very first one. And we'll send you a sample as well. You can try it yourself.
Thank
It'll
you.
be
Yeah, I love
great for entertaining.
spicy. I
Oh,
love
fantastic.
spicy.
It is like spicy and sweet. So those two
Yeah, no,
things are
I
gonna
love
go
that
very well
combo.
together. So it's we're gonna do more things like that where it's collaborating with brands that are like-minded. I mean, we both love our communities, so it is just very natural for us to get together. You saw the flavor innovation. We're always gonna have flavor innovation. New people, like for example, togarashi. I think you received togarashi as well, where
Mhm.
it's this Japanese, Japanese seasoning that just brings like a kick to the smoked salmon. I personally, that's my favorite cold smoked salmon because I like a little bit of spice.
Yes.
So that, and then our Kansas City barbecue hot smoke, that is also, something that's coming up. So there's going to be a lot of flavor innovation coming up. And we're also going to diversify, us as smoked salmon, bagel and lox, but we're also going to have smoked tuna coming up very soon, sesame
Interesting.
crusted tuna. So think about the world of fish. It's not just salmon. There's so
Right.
many fishes out there in the ocean, and tuna is one of the top fishes that Americans eat. So we're going to have a sesame crusted tuna coming up. The R&D team here is amazing. We have so many amazing ideas that we're going to be showcasing. Then on the marketing front too, we think of smoked fish not just a fish, but it's really a lifestyle. So we seek to have fun. Think about it. Our national holiday is Bagel and Lox Day. So we just got a tricycle where it's an ice tricycle that has like an ice box and an umbrella, and we're gonna be like riding around town sampling our products. So just keep an
That
eye
is
on
so
that.
cool. I will definitely keep an eye in Manhattan for that. That is really
We will be
cool.
handing out samples, so we'll be, communicating that to more people. Like I said, at the end of the day, the central idea is how can we welcome more people into this category? It's really approachable, very easy, but I don't think a lot of people know about it yet. So we want to spread
Right.
the love to like more people. So, and everything that we do, if you look at our social media and everything that we do it with a little wink and a little fun. So for example, we always try and do something different at the trade show and consumer events. We have a backdrop. So you see, the line here, but we also have a backdrop and we have these like big plushies fish, and people can take pictures with the fish and just throw it around, and just people just like have fun, just have fun with it.
I love it. I love it. And it sounds like a really creative space also. I mean, from just a marketing point of view, the fact that you have an R&D team and you have, innovation and collaborations and a great
Yeah,
social team, it sounds like, and doing activations and partnerships. There's so much to work with, it sounds like. And so I'm
yeah,
sure that it's really great space for you to just get creative and throw ideas out there
yeah,
and it sounds like people are open to it. So that just sounds like a cool
absolutely.
environment to be working in.
And I have to say, I'll give kudos to that as well. I came from very big companies or bigger companies. And when I first thought of joining Acme, I wasn't very sure myself because it's a smaller, everything is relative, right? It's like a smaller family owned company.
Right.
But when I met everyone, I was blown away just by these are very kind people, love what they do, want to do the right thing, and also like a lot quicker to move, right? Versus like in bigger companies, you just, have to go
Yes.
through a lot of red tapes. But here, you got a great idea, get the team together, move quickly and try things. And we're not afraid to try things. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, learn from it, and then we'll pivot and do something else. I love that. It's like every day there's just so much energy by just all the people around me.
That's really, I love hearing that because I too, like, I thrive off of that energy, so, if I don't have that freedom, it just stops all of my creative
Yeah.
juices, and so it just sounds like you're in an environment, especially food is just so fun,
Yeah,
that you're
exactly.
able to have fun and be creative and throw ideas and that people are willing to test and see, like,
Test
that's
and see.
huge.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly. I
huge.
love that too. I really,
Um,
it's very refreshing.
yeah, it sounds like it. Where do you see the company maybe in 5, 10, the next generation taking over? I would love to just hear kind of
Yeah.
your perspective.
I think there's so much potential in this category and for this company because this company has, the creds for the quality, the reputation in the industry, etc. We have so much potential to tell the story to more people and bring people in. The category has opportunity to grow as well. Right now, the household penetration is still very low. So there's opportunity to grow and bring more people in. And for the brand, my vision or our vision is really for Acme to be seen as the go-to brand for smoked fish. If you want smoked fish, quality smoked fish, think of Acme as the first one that's like, they're the ones I trust because they're people who care about what they do. This
Right,
is all we do. We don't do anything else, right? So, and it's in the family. So it's really important that, you pass down a healthy business and a healthy brand to the next generation. At a higher level, we had this discussion when I came in as well, and it's always been there. But we finally articulated it that our vision and our mission is really two things we love the most: good people and good food. We want to bring those two together. So our vision is really bringing people together through great food experiences. So we'll always bring and help people have those moments, especially if you think about what we went through in pandemic. It was so clear that
right,
connections are so important, that it's when you're locked by yourself, it's not the same. So, and
right.
food, what's the better way to enjoy something together through good food? So that's what we're passionate about and want to play a role in that vision.
So great. Any piece of advice you would share with someone who's maybe in the early days of building their marketing career or maybe feeling burnt out in their marketing career and feeling like they need to make a move, or maybe they've worked in big corporate and now they want to possibly work for, say, more of a family owned business, or starting their own emerging brand and something that you've learned from working with more established brands. I would love
Yeah.
to hear.
Yeah, so that's a great question. Like, if I think there's so many advice people have, given me. And as I think about sort of Acme, the marketing function being a startup kind of within a much more established, company, the advice I would give and how I find my team, and I'm so grateful for my team, not able to do any of these things if I weren't surrounded by the right people. I think of it as the three C's, and I always remind my team and myself that we need the three C's. We need to be curious because you and I know that the world is changing so fast. Like, think about the
So
digital world.
fast.
Every day I'm learning something. Like, there's always something new that's happening. But always be curious, have a growth mindset to say, okay, I don't know this. It's okay. Go find somebody who knows and learn from someone. So I love these exchanges because I love your podcast and just hearing from other people what they do, what advice. So learn from other people, be
That's
curious.
great.
But also, the second C is have conviction, because in marketing, you're always doing something that it's unproven sometimes, right? If you want to, like, like pave a new way, it's uncharted. So to
Right.
do that, you have to have conviction, that you need to believe that you have something here. Like, be passionate about what you believe in and stay with your conviction, because Rome is not built in one day. A brand is never built in overnight. It's never happened that way.
Right.
It takes a long time. And then the last one is be courageous. So curious, conviction, and courageous, because you know how it is. You sell this idea and a lot of people have opinion, and,
Yep.
and sometimes you have to take a leap, and sometimes you got to say, you know what, I believe in this idea. I will put my stake in it. That's what I
Yep.
want to do. So those three things will get you far, I think.
I I really appreciate that advice. I think that's a great one no matter what stage of your career that you're in. Those are 3 that you could consistently check in on with
Hmm.
yourself. And I really appreciate you saying that because those are three things that I consistently think about. I haven't articulated the way that you have so brilliantly. So I definitely will be writing that one in my journal and reminding myself,
Oh,
like,
thank you.
hey,
Yay.
let's make sure these things are happening. Last question. I could talk to you for hours. This was awesome. But the last question, the most important, is where can we shop Acme Smoked Fish?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the easiest way to do it is go to our website, acmesmokedfish.com, go to the store locator. You can obviously buy online through our retail partners, or you can, just look for what's in store, like right there, it's updated all the time. But also, if you are in New York and in the area, come to Greenpoint. Every Friday, we have Fish Friday. That's the only time we open our doors to the community. You can buy fresh smoked fish from us. And there's always specials every Friday that you
I
don't really
love
get
that.
anywhere. So come, you can, just go online, put in your order, and then come and pick it up. And you always meet people. I think what people love about it is it's a very community feel. It's a little grungy. You go, we have a garage door open. You come, pick up your thing, and go meet the people who work at Fish Friday. We love it because we love
That's cool. That's
meeting
really
our
cool.
fans. Yeah, come. If you haven't, you have to come.
Yes, I definitely will. I love that idea and done. I will make sure we come.
Awesome. That's great. That's great. So, and of course, if you go to bagel and appetizing stores, very often, they are selling our products as well. But go to our website and check out the store locator.
Great. I'll put this all in the show notes. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast and sharing your insight and the vision of the company and where you are now and where you're going. This was a really great conversation, and I appreciate your time so much.
Thank you so much. I could talk to you for like hours and for days, but thank you for this
Same.
opportunity. Have a great
Thank you.
day.
Thank you.
Have enjoy those locks in the box.
I will absolutely. And thank you everyone for listening, and I'll see you on the next episode.